So what's the biggest mistake traders make? Trading live accounts with real money when they haven't earned the right to do so. This is why so many traders blow accounts left and right and waste a ton of time and money. And in this video, I'm gonna show you the exact steps you need to take so you can make sure you're ready to trade real money.
How do I know when I'm ready to go live? Now, this isn't going to be a black and white answer, and it's also going to vary trader to trader. And there are a number of variables that play a role in determining how long you should be trading on a demo account before making that switch to a live account using real money. And the simple answer is as long as it takes, or as long as you need. In week 7, I talked about very common problems that a lot of traders experience when they transition from demo to real money. And the mentality often goes from trading to win to trading not to lose, or trading not to lose money. So it goes without saying your trader's mindset should be well established with a solid foundation. Your actions are no longer fueled by fear or greed, and you're able to manage your emotional reactions effectively. I do want to point out that you will most likely experience a sensory overload at first when you go live, and this will fade away as it's usually just the case of the jitters from excitement. Just tread lightly. You're going to go through a transition period and you might be feeling a bit anxious or feeling a little bit of pressure, and that's perfectly normal. Almost every stage that I broke through, 20K to 50K, 50K to 100K, 100K to 250K, I experienced a brief adjustment period, and it was usually just from me focusing on the money. And when I got the big jump to 7 figures, multiple 7 figures, it took me a little bit to get acclimated. It was obviously a substantial jump and a substantial amount of money, and that's what I found myself focusing on. I historically build up a lot of internal pressure, and sometimes I find myself performing my best when I'm under pressure. But the best thing to do to snap you back into focus is to remember why you're doing this in the first place, and that this is why you've been putting in all the hard work. Just focus on your training, focus on your purpose, your reason, your vision, and now you're the casino owner. So this is really where you need to focus on the numbers. It's a numbers game and a game of probabilities. And now that you have an edge, keep the focus on those things and not the dollar amount. Stay aware, and if you need time to recalibrate, the account isn't going anywhere. Reach out to your trading partner, reach out to the group, talk about it on the group calls. Being self-aware of your thoughts and your emotions is extremely important. This is part of the process. And like I said, this will vary trader to trader, but you can always start small and scale up. So instead of jumping right into a 200K account, start with maybe a 10K account or 50K and then go up from there. And until you get through the adjustment period of going live, you can also reduce your risk. Drop it down to 0.5%, or maybe whatever your normal risk is, decrease it by 1/3. And once you're comfortable, then you can start increasing it back. Just remember, we're not looking for home runs or grand slams. We aren't trying to get rich quick. This isn't a sprint. This is a marathon. We are playing the long game here. The one major difference between demo and trading live is fear. Fear or anxiety while trading can change how we view the market. When you're on demo, you are most likely executing every signal you could. When you're trading live, many traders do the opposite and start questioning themselves, they start second guessing, or start filtering trades by quality and looking for premium A+ perfect setups. And as I previously stated, this is usually from the fear of losing money. And with this fear present, it will become much easier to talk yourself out of trades that you should be executing better in alignment with your trade plan and your edge. Casino owner mentality, risk to reward, proper risk management, plan your trades and trade your plan. Check your ego at the door. Do all of these things and you'll be fine. With that being said, at this stage, losses don't impact your trading decisions. This is a big one that will help you determine if you're ready to go live. A trader's mindset is always a work in progress and something you'll always be sharpening. But at this stage, if you're ready to go live, the casino owner mentality is something you've now adopted. The more experience you have dealing with loss is going to help you when you go live. But be prepared that a loss in a demo account is nothing compared to a loss in real life with real money. So before you make the move, you need to be 100% certain that you can keep a level head and follow through with your plan. It is absolutely essential to remain focused and calm, even if you feel like everything is going wrong and everything is going against you. Making decisions based on a loss or the loss of money just leads to impulsive, emotional decisions that have nothing to do with your plan. We have a trade plan for a reason. Keep the focus on your ability to implement it. Okay, so circling back to the $1 million question, how do I know I'm ready to go live? And this might be an obvious answer, but one of the big key variables when you're profitable. But a lot of traders don't know how to properly gauge this. And because of that, they rush the process and they find themselves jumping into live accounts too fast, and they just find out the hard way that they weren't ready. I'm a numbers guy, always have been, always will. All of my business and trading decisions are primarily led by analytics, the cold hard numbers. Why? Numbers don't lie. So we obviously know we need to see profitable results and we need a positive trade expectancy, but having those two things with a 30, 60 day sample is a lot different than a 90, 180 day sample or larger. More data to support the claim is always best. And the reason for it, it's a more accurate representation of your abilities and your results. So a lot of traders also assume that in order to become a stage 3 trader, you need to see consistent results, but in the form of consecutive weeks or consecutive months. And again, this is why bigger sample sizes are more accurate. We know a couple of things for certain. Professional traders have down days, down weeks, and down months. But rarely will you see a professional trader have a down quarter. So for example, let's just use a 4-month sample size. Month 1, plus 5,000. Month 2, plus 7,000. Month 3, negative 2,000. Month 4, 6,500. So we know even with a negative losing month, this trader still gained 16.5K. That means this trader averages $4,125 a month. And the same can be applied for a 1-month sample. Week 1, negative 1,000. Week 2, plus 3,000. Week 3, maybe break even or no trades executed. Week 4, plus 2,000. This trader would have ended the month with a total of $4,000, averaging $1,000 a week. An end positive result over a large sample is a positive result. So don't think you need to prove that you're a profitable trader with consecutive weeks or consecutive days or consecutive months. Personally, I like to move in quarters. For my well-funded multi-7-figure accounts, we give quarterly reports. My primary investor doesn't entertain daily, weekly, or monthly results. They look at quarterly, 6-month, 12-month marks and larger. The reason for that, they're in this for the long haul. They have a long-term perspective, and that's exactly why they're multi-8-figure investors. And yes, I aim for positive months, but I can accurately gauge my average monthly percentage with a larger sample of results. So I would recommend looking at your results from a quarterly perspective, profit loss, and your trade expectancy. So if you can produce a positive trade expectancy for at least a 90-day period, I would confidently say that you're a stage 3 profitable trader. 60 at the absolute smallest. And even with a 60 or 90-day sample, it's not going to be extremely accurate, so tread lightly. I would use this threshold if you have everything else that I'm talking about in the beginning portion of this module checked off, as this is definitely more aggressive. To be on the conservative side, I would aim for minimum 120 days. Therefore, 1 month of profitable results, that doesn't mean you're a profitable trader. It just means you had 1 month of positive results. And personally, I wouldn't feel comfortable or confident putting in time, energy, or money into going live with just 1 month of positive stats. Here's a rule of thumb. And this is what one of my mentors told me, and it just always stuck. He said, if you were the investor and you were going to invest your own capital into a Forex day trader, what would you need to see from them to have the confidence into backing them? Would you need to see 1 month of positive results, 3 months, 6 months, a year? Whatever your answer is, this should be the same standard that you hold yourself to. And the next one is really important, and you have to put the time in with the strategy, your mindset. You have to develop your edge. You need to know your strengths, your weaknesses. You have built a profitable trade plan according to the information that you've gathered from backtesting, and you know what type of trader you are or becoming. So you should know your pairs, you should know your time frames you're trading, the patterns that you're hunting, the market environment you're hunting in, everything. And it should all be systemized. There are four types of trading. Day traders who are in and out of the positions in a day. These are short-term setups. Scalping, this is another form of short-term trading, but carried on micro time frames off small price changes. Swing trading, which is holding positions for a short period of time, ranging anywhere from a few days to a few weeks. This is primarily done on mid to higher time frames. And last, we have position trading, which is holding positions for an extended period of time. So before going live, you need to be clear on which type of trading is best suited for you, your personality, and your schedule. Going live means real money and real trades. So before making the transition, all of this should be done first. You don't want to be going live and wandering around and freezing up like a deer in the headlights, or worse, making adjustments and playing around with strategy or different things on a live account. Demo trading is your space to make adjustments and find what works and what doesn't work for you. Only when you feel confident with the strategy, your edge, and the tools you're using, then you should move to live trades. In addition to having a tried and tested trade plan that produces a positive trade expectancy, you should have set realistic trading expectations and goals. So before you go live, it's extremely important to have both. In the world of trading and investing, there is always the potential for things to go wrong, and there are never any guarantees. These should both be in place from earlier modules, but I wouldn't be doing my job as a coach if I didn't reiterate the importance. So of course, everyone wants to make money, and that's probably reflected in your goals, but they should also be realistic. You should have a good idea of your current capabilities and your current numbers based on your trade journal. Account size will play a huge factor here. A lot of traders think that they need to be putting up crazy percentages and constantly be bagging tons of pips in order to make a lot of money, when in reality, there are far more effective methods, which we'll discuss later in this module. So before you go live, make sure you have clearly defined your long-term goals and your short-term goals that will help you get there. Don't try and push yourself too hard, too fast, or set overly ambitious targets. Doing this will either burn yourself out, deviate from the plan, or you will get humbled by the markets. Remember, the goal is long-term consistency. Legitimate trading and investing doesn't result in overnight success or flush bank accounts. A trader ready to go live has long-term financial plans and understands the time needed before seeing any real success. So a large part of trading success comes from good risk and capital management. You should know this by now because we talked into this topic in earlier modules, but again, we aren't here for quick wins or big wins. We are here for the long run. That means consistency. In the world of trading, we are playing an unpredictable game where certainty does not and cannot exist. Because of that, your risk management plan is one of the most important factors in protecting yourself, your trades, and your capital. So before going live, you should have by now acknowledged the importance of risk management, capital management, and risk to reward. And you should have also included a list of rules regarding these things in your trade plan. So for example, the maximum you're prepared to lose on a daily basis or a weekly basis, maximum drawdown, stop loss movement, when to stop trading, a limit on the time you spend trading every day, how much you plan to risk per trade given different scenarios and variables, and when to add additional positions, etc. You should also be using some type of risk management tools like one-click trade for every single trade that you execute. This is how you can ensure any negative impact of a trade or a string of trades is manageable so that you can live to fight another day. There is risk present in every trade you take, but as long as you can measure the risk, you can manage it. And last but not least, you feel ready and excited to go live. You've done the work, you've built a profitable trade plan, you have strict management rules, you've developed a trader's mindset, and most importantly, you've built confidence in the markets and your ability to implement your plan. So at this point, you're probably excited and ready. When you know you're ready, you will know. If you believe you have taken all that you can from demo trading and you've followed the proven blueprint and the idea of getting funded and going live excites you, then it's probably time. Worst case scenario, you can always go back to demo. Going live and recognizing you're not ready and maybe you jumped the gun is perfectly okay. It shows maturity. So if this does happen, don't stress it. Rarely do traders get the timing to go live perfectly, and rarely do traders just get on a live account and just hit the ground running and start pumping out crazy numbers right away. There are adjustment periods, especially if it's your first time ever managing a substantial amount of money. The Forex markets aren't going anywhere. Funding is always available, and we aren't going anywhere. So don't beat yourself up for anything that is just part of the journey. Full transparency, my first couple of live accounts, 10K, 20K accounts, were just a shit show. I was super nervous. I made mistakes. I made bad decisions. But most importantly, I was gaining valuable experience and I was learning from my mistakes. I embraced it all. I recognized that this wasn't the final destination, that this was just part of my journey. And look at me now. Years later, I'm managing multi-million-dollar accounts and trading capital just because I didn't let small bumps in the road stop me. So just have patience with yourself, have patience with your results, and patience with your trading capital. I know it's tempting to go big and jump into large accounts, but make smart decisions and focus on the long-term vision and long-term plan. Understanding the need for patience is a key sign that you're ready to go live. Just like the need for constant study, everything you've been working on up until this point, it doesn't stop when you do go live. It's crucial to your success that you always remain a student, always work to sharpen your skills, always be working on your mindset, and always continue to backtest and use a SWOT and know your numbers so that you can continue optimizing your trading. At this point, you should have a good understanding of what's needed and what should be in place before you go live. The move from demo to a real account with real money can be both scary and exciting, but only you will know when you're ready.